All right, so here we are today with another daily upload, and today we are looking at a past castle siege. We are reviewing prior video of a castle siege that I believe happened either 1 or 2 years ago, maybe just 1 year ago. And this is volume 1 because I think I have several recordings of past castle sieges that I can take a little bit of a deeper look into. But this video, because it's just volume 1, is going to be a general overview of what castle sieges are, and then I'll just show you the video of what happened at this particular castle siege event. So, yeah. So, in general, what is the castle siege game mode? The castle siege game mode is a base defense game mode, essentially. It's an asymmetric capture the flag game. So, by asymmetric, what I mean is there are two sides. One side has a disadvantage, but a different advantage, which essentially tries to set them equal. So one team has less players, but they also get the castle, which is an extremely defendable position where you characteristically have at least 1 or 2 choke points, which are very, very narrow little openings, which it's hard for the defenders to really bring their full numbers to bear, and the attackers to bring their full numbers to bear, and the defenders are able to hold them off for a longer period of time to protect their flag, which is the objective of the attackers. The players who attack and defend are usually determined by which house did better that week of Capture the Flag or Dominion or whatever game was played. Whatever the most dominant house in the realm was that week is generally the people who get put in the castle first. Oftentimes, because it's just so fun and we'd like to play it a bunch of times, the castle gets, like, the defenders change hands a bunch of times. So it starts out with one team in the castle defending, but then it might get passed around a couple times to all the other different teams, though often the team that did the best in the week there was the most powerful team in the realm, which often has, like, a bunch of the oldest kids, a bunch of the kids in armor. And so when it gets passed to other houses, often they do much less well, and they last a much shorter period of time before they're overrun by the attackers. But traditionally, the people who start out in the castle are the ones who won that week, and I think that is true of this video as well. So, generally speaking, I mean, I sort of talked about it a little bit before, but how it plays. The defenders are inside the castle, and they try to keep the invaders out or stop them from taking flags inside the castle. The objective of the invaders is to break through the castle doors or breach the castle in whatever way that this particular castle is set up, and try to capture the flags and take them out of the castle back to the reswap where they can be claimed. Unlike regular capture the flag, these flags cannot be reclaimed by the defenders. It is exclusively a how long can the defenders hold off. And if they can hold off for the duration of time that it's set, and that specific is very heavily based on house rules. So it could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever. Well, it's almost never half an hour because almost no one can hold out that long against so many attackers. But if they can hold out for that period of time, they win. If the attackers can breach the castle, take the flags, and get out before then they win. So it should be characterized less as like laying siege to a castle, and more like a castle assault, because it's a very, very quick game for the attackers. The entire name of the game is kill all defenders, get in and out as fast as possible, and that's how you win the best. Yeah, and the defenders can use all different sorts of defensive mechanisms, like just the castle itself. And there's certain things on certain castles which lend themselves more easily to being defended, like portcullises or larger gates, or some have like archer precipices or like mage towers, or all stuff like that. It just depends castle to castle. Speaking of, there are, from all of the castles that I've seen, because I've gone to a lot of them, there are really 3 sort of general types of castles. There's superstructure, scattered towers, and gate and keep castles. So a superstructure is, it's not exactly what it sounds like. What a superstructure essentially is it is one big platform. So there is 2 or sometimes even 3 layers to this castle, and it's a enclosed wooden structure. So it's built like a house, essentially, with cardboard walls. And there are multiple layers to the structure, and maybe there are towers on the top, and maybe there's a small keep around it. But essentially, you have to infiltrate this tall, standing structure to attack a superstructure. With the scattered towers, however, it's a lot different. Sometimes these will be a couple of different towers sort of like set around, and they might have multiple choke points, entrances in and out, which is a lot harder to defend. And sometimes one flag will get put in each tower, but that also spreads the defenders thinner, meaning that each individual tower can fall faster. So it's more fun for castle roleplay in the start of the week, but they're very, very hard to defend. And actually, the week that this video is getting recorded, the current type of castle we have is a scattered towers castle, and I am so afraid of what's going to happen to the defenders on Friday this week, because they're just going to have no hope. It's so scattered. They have no real like singular or dual choke point. It's going to be really easy for the defenders to kind of just swarm and surround them, and that's literally how you lose at a that's how you lose the castle siege, essentially. And the last type, which is perhaps my favorite, I really like the superstructure, but they're just so hard to get in and out of when you're just like playing with them normally. They're very good for castle siege, but I really love the gate and keep castles. I actually helped put together the gate and keep you'll see in this video. Me and the castle master, we helped like lift up the tower and then secure all the cardboard and build the portcullis. This is a very, very old castle. That's what, oh, frick. Essentially what you can see here is the very large tower and then a door in front, and then a wall all enclosing the inner keep or the inner protected area. There might be a second smaller entrance in the back, but for the attackers, there's only one way to get in, and that's the main portcullis. It's an extremely good choke point. The defenders are able to often hold off for a very long time. The attackers really have a tough time assailing these, and especially on one like this. I mean, you can see all these kids standing up a level. What this means to me is that there's probably a platform here, which means that archers could shoot down over top of the castle, and the defenders would just be pelted by arrows, like we were in this video, actually. Gate and keep castles are really, really fun to play for castle siege. They're fun for the attackers because you feel like you're assailing some like mythical castle that's 1,000 feet tall, and you have to break your way through Helm's Deep or something like that. And they're really fun for the defenders too, because it's a lot easier to defend. You're not just going to get swamped. You don't have to completely be fighting like this is more like a castle siege. This feels more like a asymmetrical scrimmage where you're just really outnumbered and you're getting swarmed. So yeah, those are 3 different types of castles. So in this particular past video, here's a screenshot of this video. It was, again, a gate and keep castle. This is the castle master who helped with the rules and sort of the functioning of this particular portcullis here, because this castle had a double layered gate. It had an inner cardboard door and then a portcullis. And the attackers were allowed to open and close the portcullis just by their hands. But in the fantasy magic of the realm, this gate was specially secured and could not be opened by just the hands of the campers. And so what they needed to do is infiltrate the portcullis while getting shot at by bows and arrows and just the attackers. And they needed to place in 2 powder barrels on the inside and then a candle to explode the powder barrels. And then they'd run away, and after like a certain countdown, the barrels explode and bust open the gates on the inside. And I remember, I think in the rules you might see this, if the powder barrels get shot at, or if the person carrying the barrel gets killed and the barrel drops to the ground, it explodes and just killing everyone in like a 10 or 15 foot radius. And so large portions of the army would get sent back just time and time again after these barrels would explode. And I believe Hart was the first people to go in the castle, and they did a really good job of targeting the guy with the powder barrel. And so I think they actually lost because the powder barrel exploded so many times that they were able to deny entrance into the keep at all, meaning that it was almost an auto win for them, because if you can't get in the keep, you really can't get to the flags very much. So yeah. Oh, rules for respawning. So in this, the way they were doing it this week is they were doing respawn waves, but not on a timer. They were doing 3 per game. So I believe the attackers, yeah, I think the attackers had 3 respawn waves and twice the number of people, and the defenders had half the number of people but only 2 respawn waves. So they really were at quite the disadvantage, but that's because this castle was very, very strong. And so every time you die, you'd run back to your respawn point, and you'd have to wait until the next respawn wave. And at the very last respawn wave, I think most of us were already dead, and we were just hoping and praying that our defenders could make it out with the last flag to clinch the game and win. So yeah, different rules of respawning for both sides, just because the castle was such a massive advantage this week. And so here is the video of that very castle siege. Here's another screenshot from further away. You can really see that this is quite a high walled keep with really only that one gate in. It's all enclosed back here. The only gate that did exist back here was specially cordoned off to allow dead soldiers to filter out of, which I think I actually got killed and then had to walk through later. But that was not allowed for living soldiers to go through. So yeah, here's that video now. All right, second siege. We got 2 kind of lines of shield people, and we have vanguards in the middle, bludgeoning weapons on either side, and Val's in the back. God, my GoPro helmet is jank.
King Ryan of the Pancakes, what is your speech for today?
My speech is, everyone knows that 1, 2, 3, 4, wait, no. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we obliterate? Makara! Makara! Makara!
Makara!
Nice.
Okay, good enough, good enough.
Right.
I would get in the back. I think you might get slaughtered if you go in the front.
Yeah. We are proud. We need the flag bearers in the back.
Flag bearers!
We have staff, Noah.
Okay, follow the wall of shields.
That's the idea.
Attackers, are we ready?
Yeah!
All right. Hey, who has the red flag?
Oh my god, why are gunshots?
Henry, do you still have the red flag?
Sounds like there's guns.
Yeah.
1 flag, 2 flags,
Yeah.
red flag, blue flag.
Wait, are there bullets going into that?
What?
I will bear the red
That almost sounded like gunshots.
No, it's just...
I know. Yeah,
What?
Wait, how many layers thick is this?
Literally just 2. It's not too bad. But I have sticks in it. Okay, maybe not so fast. Oh man, they don't want to go for the defenders on the outside. Oh. Oh, he's holding off. He's holding
Shields,
off.
stay together! Shields, stay together!
that was below the knee, I think.
Oh, he held off for so long. Well fought.
Here! Shields, form a ceiling!
I got red shield. I got red shield. I hit red shield. Yeah, we got red shield. Tommy. I hit you.
This one blew up too early!
No!
I hit you.
You're done! Go back!
Hey, we need more. Someone hit us the arrows. Wait,
Here!
I hit him on the shoulder.
I'll get the candle!
Please, no.
Wait, can I kill you guys? Wait. Wait, you're red.
Oh my God.
Team, get under the shield.
Get rid of the shield. Get rid of the shield.
Form a ceiling! Shields, form a ceiling! Nice!
Give me one. I need one.
Anyone want to go under the wall?
They can't get us! Hold the ceiling! Hold the ceiling!
Okay, that counts. You got an arrow dropped on him! No, you have a helmet on.
Oh no, I have a helmet on!
Helmets protect you from arrows.
Do it! Shoot me! Shoot me!
No.
Hold it!
Keg, push in.
Go, go, go! Right here, right here, right here! Go!
Yeah, we got it!
Get the candle! wait. Okay, it hasn't actually been breached yet. We have to wait for it to fall down. Little bit of a delay, but that's okay. That's okay.
Shields up! Shields up! He's so tall!
You can't kill him.
Go, crew! Okay, so this is how it's gonna work. I will let 5 people in at a time. There's a piece of tape over here you can go. So, if you are an attacker, you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can go in. And you start when I blow my whistle. So if you
I'll take you down. No, you won't.
Ready, and go.
You can't.
I'll
Our attackers are getting slaughtered 5 by 5.
Arrow got you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can come in. You can start when I blow my whistle.
Hit his helmet.
Go. Going. Going. 1,
Let the dead out.
3, 4, and 5. You can come in. Go.
How about you? How about you?
Run out of the tape and fight. Run out of the tape and fight. Go. 1, 2, 3, and go to the tape. 4 and 5. You get. Wait.
All right, people with shields. I need.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. When I blow my whistle, you can go. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can get here.
All right, I'm gonna head up the.
You're out.
I'm gonna stand on the safe, and then I'm gonna take a step out. When I take a step out, I can be attacked.
Grayson, get out.
I killed you.
Oh, you got a dagger. Okay. It's okay for us to die a little bit because we can respawn.
5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Zero di dolide, di shalalele. Go! No!
The gentle arc of death.
Tommy, you dead? You
just missed the respawn.
Listen, to get up in the keeps, you just need to trade with one person. As soon as you take a step out, stab one other guy. At least if you get one other guy, it'll be fair.
Oh, we got the... No, that's what we wanted, that one, Sam!
That's the wall.
That's one of ours.
Back up!
Bring it back,
We're
bring it back.
taking blue flags!
Why, Sam? Now we have to put it
It's
on.
all good.
Now we have to put it back in there.
Well, I don't know what flags are we supposed to get?
The light
Blue flags!
The light blue.
There's one more blue flag!
I'll bring someone with a shield up. Alright, so one person can go
Trade with one person. Stab at least one other person. Stab at least one other person.
Ready, and go. Guys, that's so cheap.
Whoa.
Are you alive?
Oh my god. Respawn is gonna happen.
Watch out for this person.
All right. Hey Kev, are they gonna respawn? Alright. Defender! Respawn!
Slaughter the defense!
You're very brave to be standing in the doorway.
Everybody, hold their attention at the gate so they don't realize we've stolen their flags.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
We should try to keep it. Try to keep that secret.
Are we all dead?
I think we have one more respawn in a couple minutes. Like 2 or less.
So what flags do we need to get up there?
Mine. The one that
The black?
I think we just want to.
Wait,
Yes, we got it! I see it flying!
no. You got him!
After their stupid cheats!
I don't know what happened, but I'll take
We
it.
got our flag up.
I'll take the dub.
Yeah.
And that's it for me today for another daily upload. Thanks again for stopping by and watching. As always, Adventures in Cardboard. Here's their website, Instagram, and YouTube. I don't think in the video, the Heart of House was the people in the castle, because I think this was the second or third castle siege. But here's the shirt of the House of Heart. They're often the house with the oldest kids, and so they're often the strongest, and so they very often are the ones who end up taking the castle. So if you want to support them and support castle sieges and the camp in general, buy their shirt. It's on the website. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you tomorrow.